Hey, this is Dr. Amanda here with StraightSmile Solutions, and we're still working on our first module, which is all about wires, tying in wires, and all the different little techniques and doodads that we need to learn. So we're going to be talking about power chain now, and you're going to see here I'm holding up two different types of power chain. This is like, I'm going to call this kind of shorty chain. This is long chain, okay, so there's spaces in between it. But what I'm going to send you is going to be what I call continuous chain. And that is like chain, 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 chain. It's all like links together. For me, I recommend just stocking about 10 colors of continuous chain. You do not need to have all the different shapes of chains in every color. That's a waste of money. If the teeth are bigger, you just leave extra links. It's not a big deal. And there's going to be an art to that. You're going to get used to it. It's going to take a lot of practice to know exactly how much pull to do so that's effective to close spaces, but it's also not going to break brackets. So, you're going to learn. There's no way to do this without learning and failing a few times. But practice on your type on it as much as you can. I went ahead and I pulled the ties off this arch, and I'm going to go ahead and put this chain on. I'm going to be leaving extra links where I need to. There should be a little pull each time, but not enough to break a bracket. So you're going to go ahead and start on one of the molar hooks. You don't need to put it on the 7 if you don't want to. Just start it on the 6 and then work your way around, okay? And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. What else do you need to know? You only use chain from molar to molar when you're in a heavy enough wire to do this, okay? So that means always at least a rectangular wire, and you're not going to be there for at least 6 months, okay? So I'm teaching you this movement now because patients tend to ask about it, and I want you to practice it now. But you're not going to be there for a long, long, long time. If you're in a night-tie wire, that I would say I don't like to chain unless it's at least an 18 night-tie wire at all. I know that 6-month smiles and fast braces teach things differently, but all kinds of crazy things will happen. So that's just my personal philosophy. So that's at least 3 months. Patients with spaces, just tell them to be patient, hang in there, and the spaces may get bigger as you align. Actually, they will get bigger. So don't stress out. Let them know ahead of time. What's going to happen if you chain on a light round wire is they're going to dump back, okay? They're not going to translate, they're just going to dump. And then you're later going to have to upright the roots. That's why we don't do it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to chain this arch in, and you're going to see what it looks like with nice continuous chain with some extra links as needed, okay? Then once we get to the end, we're going to go ahead and trim it. If you're only chaining a sectional wire, not the whole wire from molar to molar, then you need to make sure to go from mesial to mesial and put a single tie on the distal, okay? Mesial to mesial. If you go distal to distal on a sectional wire or only on a part of a chain, it's going to rotate the tooth, okay? All right. Hey there, we're back again, and our power chain is done. One thing I forgot to tell you was make sure you don't count your links. I know people like to save money and count their links, but you need to have at least 5, 6, 7, 8 links to pull as you navigate your way around. You can see I left a few extra links on the front teeth as needed because they're bigger. I do it honestly with my fingers. I get on the first hook with the math-out plier, and then I go around with my fingernails because I always have fingernails. But if you don't, you can use a math-out plier. Just make sure you don't stab the patient. And a ligature director as needed, scaler, explorer, whatever you can use to get around all 4 wings. When you send me your photos, what I'm going to be looking for, number 1, I'm going to look at the back wire, making sure it's not pokey, make sure it's all in the slot. I'm going to make sure it's hooked on the hook, make sure it's on all 4 wings of every single bracket, okay? The wire is still in the slot. Remember, I'm not going to be chaining on a light night tie, only on rectangular wire if it's 6 to 6, and maybe on an 18 night tie if it's sectional, or just 2 to 2. And if it's sectional, it's going to go mesial to mesial. Okay, so now we're at the end. Oh, look at my wire. It's super pokey. Okay, so we're going to have to use a distal end cutter to trim that. And we're going to trim the rest of this with a ligature cutter right here, a lig cutter right there. But that's pretty much it. That's power chain, okay? So make sure you send me pictures of doing a couple power chain cases, front, sides,